a rather novel coin toss in that he'll be using the kip and 3 coins, I'm led to believe, of course, in the traditions of the Great Australian or Anzac game 2-up. So the 2 captains will join Rusty Priest for the toss of the coins. Here's Brad Fittler coming over. 23 test matches for Brad. He's already competed in. And the haka is being performed by the New Zealanders just fractionally out of order. So let's respect that and go to it. The boys obviously keen to get on with it, performing the haka in front of the coin toss, which will now take place. And of course Jared McCracken leads his home country for the first time. The voice of Rusty Priest.
Now what's happened, these are the specially minted Anzac coins, and they're in memory of the spirit of Anzacs on the 25th of April 1915. They were specially minted in their memory, and tonight we use them for the first time for the test. So on one side is the effigy of the digger, complete with slouch hat, and on the other side Queen Elizabeth. So when you call, it's your call, it's either digger or queen. So take your pick. So you stand back, we'll try it in true side.
Digger it is.
Well, best of luck.
So, diggers or queens, just a little bit different than heads or tails, but I'm sure that there was some hint of 2-up involved in the coin toss.
We have a game on Sunday, Rabs. I won't be calling coins.
Steve Roach on the sideline, a comment from him just up in front of kickoff.
Yeah, can't wait for this one. We all know that Australia are odds-on favourites tonight, but the biggest problem could be their complacency, something I know Chris Anderson has been working on. But never underestimate the New Zealand team. Remember the Anzac test last year when they got into the Aussies' faces and intimidated. They won that test. A few showers about, 15 degrees and a fresh southerly blowing.
Thank you, Stephen. Australia in familiar territory so far in the test match, which is nearly 15 minutes old. And again, they're running the ball out from their own danger zone with Saylor. His 4th touch of the game. Lockyer across now for Prices on for Australia from the bench. Daly the dummy half, and another of the bench players is on, Nick Kosef, the Manly player. Already has represented his country a couple of times. He plays it back for Andrew Johns and then for Alan Langer. Langer's kick is low and going down towards the 10-metre line. Better than that. Barnett comes away. Now tries to straighten, is met by a ring of Australian defence, and they hit him very heavily. Kosef came over the top of Andrew Johns. That would have really stung the New Zealand fullback. And
a very telling statistic, that one just up on screen. 75 tackles made by the Australian team, 37 for the Kiwis. And again, the Aussies will be called upon for more defence. Here's a quick tap taken by Henry Paul.
And he's gone straight through the Australian defence. He's still going. He's over the 30-metre line. Now he steps inside another. It's a great run by Henry Paul that ends 10 metres out. Australia trying to regroup and get some kind of a line together. Now it's Willie Talau, and he's put away 7 metres out from the Australian line. Henry Paul, who did the damage at acting half. Jones away. Now it's out for Bunganar, and he's held 9 metres from the Australian line. Playing it back for Jones. They work the short side. Hermanson pirouettes into the Australian. 6-0 to the Kiwis at the moment. It's a good chance for them here with a couple of tackles remaining. McCracken's offload. Wiki put down 2 metres from the line, and the 5th tackle is with them. They put a little kick in behind, work for Daly, and another line dropout, which we will come back to in just a moment. New Zealand 6, Australia yet to score.
What do you say we
crank it up a notch.
Monday nights on 9, we're still the one to make you laugh. 7:30 Friends.
The good part's coming up.
At 8, Christina Applegate is Jessie.
I let the power just go straight to my head.
At 8:30 on Veronica's Closet, the Fountain of Youth has hilarious side effects.
Dr. Zhang says we must not make it angry.
And at 9, suddenly Susan is back.
We should be in the bedroom.
Still the one for comedy, so kick back with 9 on Monday nights.
Why do you think we have the comfortable chairs?
So who was that guy you met in the bar last night? He was a magician. We left the bar, he turned into an octopus. Calamari? Look, I could hate you. I met him on the phone, on Intro Line. Intro Line? Oh, it's great. You get to listen to all these guys for free. And then you pick the right one. Or two. Come on, tell me all about it.
Introline Telephone Meeting Club. It's safe, it's fun, and you're always in control. Ring now.
If every time you open your cabinet you're overwhelmed with soaps and detergents and polishers and scum removers, and you can never really figure out which product to use for what cleaning job, then let me introduce you to a phenomenal cleaning concept. A self-cleaning product called CLR Powerhouse Bathroom and Kitchen Cleaner Deodorizer. I said self-cleaning because CLR Powerhouse instantly begins to foam away soap sediments, calcium deposits, and that nearly impossible to clean scum. It even foams away the soap scum from the tile grout that you've been trying to clean for months. CLR Powerhouse cleans almost everything in your kitchen. Look how wonderful it is on the laminated surfaces of your cabinets and countertops. CLR Powerhouse is guaranteed to work for you as well as we've shown in this commercial, or you'll get your money back. How do you like that for a sensational offer?
The last night of the season. Night racing winds up at Moonee Valley with the Crown National Jockey Challenge. Racing superstars on a super night. Moonee Valley. Thursday.
What's the Intro Line number, please? Slave for life. Okay.
Ring Introline right now. Choose from different categories. It's free to listen and record your greeting. You listen, you decide, you make the move. Introline.
For big savings, get into Retrovision's nationwide big brand clearance and save $100 on the Whirlpool cooking package, microwave, wall oven, cooktop and range hood, all for only $1,095. Big savings on all the big names, like the Samsung camcorder with LCD monitor, just $1,099. And the best range in home appliances, like Sunbeam's plaque remover toothbrush, $29.90, and Telstra's cordless phone with answering machine, $269. If you want really big savings, you know you'll find it in Retrovision. But hurry!
Finally, a magazine that tells you all you want to know about football the Footy Show way. Every month, the Footy Show magazine takes you where the others fear to tread. All the stories behind the stories and features to keep you up to date with television's top-rating programme. This month, see all there is to see of the Wakelands. Billy Brownless tackles Molly Meldrum. Bucks, Croft and Gary rate the top 50 players, and Sam tells us all there is to know about women. Finally, a magazine with balls, the Footy Show magazine, out now at your newsagent.
So back at the Stadium Australia, New Zealand leading Australia 6 points to 0, and we've had just on 17 minutes of football and a tremendous start by the visitors. This Anzac Day test coming to you from the Olympic Stadium. 20-metre line for New Zealand as they go into their third play on this fresh set of 6. And it's Robbie Paul who'll play the ball 11 metres from the line. Henry gives it away. Stacey Jones, who's been the destroyer. He gets a pass off for Matt Rua, and Rua will play the ball 7 metres away from the Australian line. Playing it back now for Talau, and it's gone into the hands of Barnett. Barnett, an evasive runner with the football. He's in traffic, gets the ball away for Hermanson. Hermanson might have taken the sting out of the attack, and he'll play the ball on tackle number 5 back to Henry Paul. He put them down this end of the ground initially. That kick is beautifully judged, and Matt Rogers is up above the pack to force a 20-metre tap for Australia.
And that is a very big play from Matt Rogers. The Australians, no surprise that Chris Anderson made mass changes. Here's Webke back into the action. They've had to do a mountain of defence, and to be quite honest, 6-0 is not a bad scoreline for the Aussies at the moment, considering what they've had to face up to.
This is Price. We welcome viewers watching us through Sky Television right across Europe. The Australia versus New Zealand Anzac Day test match coming to you. And welcome to our telecast from the 9 network down here in Australia. Langer, a short ball away for Fittler, who hasn't had a great opportunity to attack, but then again, Australia hasn't. It's been very much a case of all hands on deck in defence. This is Fletcher, and he's put down a few metres into Kiwi territory, and 5 tackles are gone as Johns goes off to his kicker, Lockyer, and Lockyer puts it straight down to Richie Barnett, who couldn't have been better placed. He comes out now to be tackled just on the 20-metre line, New Zealand's end of the ground. Tackler was Nick Kosef. Sean Hoppy went into dummy half and beat Kosef, ran into Daly as he worked on the right of the ground. Daly playing left centre in defence, Darren Smith on the right. This is Robbie Paul. Explosive off the mark, isn't he? He plays it on the 40-metre line. Hoppy away for Matt Rua in the headgear, the Melbourne player. And he's pulled down there by 17, which is Fletcher for Australia. Henry Paul with that right forearm heavily taped, and this is Joe Vunganar on the 50-metre line, on the halfway line. Tackle number 5 for the New Zealand side, and this is Swain, also from Melbourne. That went backwards from him, and he's able to scoop it away for Hermanson. The referee called that okay. I've got no problems with it. Henry Paul puts in a kick that bounces over the head, or goes over the head of Saylor and bounces into touch.
I've got to say, despite the fact they've had all the ball, they are starting to look pretty tired, New Zealand. They're not getting back deep enough now to run onto the football. There's very shallow play from them. Look at this. They don't know what's happening, and Australia just might have tackled them out of it. It's only 20 minutes old, but they look a bit ordinary, don't they?
Well, they're starting to look...
They needed to score points. They needed to score tries. They just didn't do it.
They've got to be careful that they don't get frustrated. They've got to be patient, bide their time. The Australians now with some possession, albeit at the wrong end of the field.
Kosef, and then Darren Smith. Rogers has been herded back in field. Little opportunity for Matt down the right side of the ground as Australia now work it out from their 30-metre line. A good strong run there by Fletcher.
The interchanges continue. We saw Richard Swain come into the game as the Australians get a penalty, their first of the night. And with Swain going to hooker, that means Henry Paul drops back to the fullback position. So he is world-class and versatile.
Little window opens for Australia now down the other end of the ground. And this is Webke starting to build a platform that they'll work off with this elite backline, a backline that includes Langer and Fittler and Daly, as they go now for Kosef to take a second forward play and then offloads for Langer. Langer trailing there in support. He just got under a shot from Joe Vunganar. Referee said it was across the chest. And now Jason Smith, then for Kosef. Kosef away for Fletcher. Fletcher tackled and pulled down by Ruben Wiki. The ball was quick, and then a knock on by Stephen Price, a dummy half. So, did I say a window opened? If it did, it closed very quickly. Penalties 2-1 to New Zealand at the moment, and it was as simple as they come. Coming up to the 22nd minute of elapsed time. Jones working a scrum back on his own 10-metre line, and Hoppy is picked up by Daly and driven into the ground. Together with Fittler. That would hurt.
And Steve Roach, was some concern. Richie Barnett down there. I see he's up off the bench now. Is there a problem?
Yeah, he's got a problem with a finger at the moment, but he's been battling the flu all week. But an interesting move too from the Kiwis. Henry Paul, the hooker, he's gone back to fullback at the moment, and Swain is playing in the hooker role. So how versatile are the Henry brothers?
Vunganar, 25 away from his own line. Clinging to this lead, which was a real shock to the Australian audience, I'm sure, to see the scoreboard 6-0 against them after only a couple of minutes of play. As the kick down the ground from Stacey Jones rolls around Matt Rogers, and then he comes back towards Gordon Tallis before straightening. And he'll play the ball just beyond his own 40-metre line. Langer indicates to Lockyer will take a blindside play. He turns it in. Fittler gets into a little bit of space. The pass to Darren Smith misdirected. And another scrum will go down. Australia bumbling their way through this passage of play.
They've had to do all the tackling, and this is really they're starting to get some ball now and just overrun that pass, or it was passed behind Darren Smith, and they look good. Little inside ball there, found the Kiwi defence out.
3-2 the handling errors against Australia. As New Zealand, with this man Henry Paul again looking very dangerous. The Paul brothers and Stacey Jones have opened them up a couple of times. 3 times, in fact. This is Swain. Playing the ball now 30 metres away, and it's Robbie Paul who goes to the defence line, and Jason Smith eventually puts him down. Line breaks 2-1 New Zealand. Now Vanganar. Vanganar gets rid of Alan Langer, but is put down there by Darren Smith on the right side of the ground for Australia. Jones back for Jason Lowry. Lowry back to the 20-metre line, and Tallis comes over the top to assist in the tackle with Shane Webke. They go back for a kick. They go for the drop goal from Henry Paul. It barely gets off the ground. And Matt Rogers then brings it away, nullifies the New Zealand attack, and is tackled about 5 metres out from his own line.
What we saw there was an enormous rap for the Australian defence. Again, the Kiwis are in good field position. They could have put up an attacking kick. You can see how many tackles that the home team have had to make, but they went for the 1 point, and that's some kind of admission that we are having enormous problems getting through this defensive line.
This is Fletcher. What a big occasion for him. He's really taken the game by storm. A limited time in first grade and then a green and gold jumper. It doesn't come any quicker than it has for Brian Fletcher from Sydney City. 32 metres out from their own line. Fifth tackle is with them. The kick from Lockyer. He was put under a little bit of pressure by a charge down, and then it's marked on the full by Henry Paul. Back he comes. He'd enjoy this broken field play, but he's tackled on the 40-metre line.
Yeah, just a silly little indiscretion there from Wendell Saylor. Just pushed his knee down just to put the man playing the football off a little bit longer, and the referee swooped. You see here, just kicks out at him, pushes him sideways. The referee didn't like it. Just on Brian Fletcher, Ray, we point out only just 9 starting games in first grade. Played 31 off the bench as well. He's a late bloomer. He is 24 years of age, so not unusual. His story as Hermanson stutters forward.
Hermanson eventually put down by Gordon Tallis. As Jason Lowry forges ahead for New Zealand. Good yards. They are the hard yards. Now down the blind with Jones and Swan. Swan on his back. 15 metres out from the green and gold line. Swain sweeping it away. And then Robbie Paul finding Matt Rua. Rua will play the ball after he's been tackled by Fittler and also Fletcher. The Sydney City teammates combining in defence. Now Jones, he uses a second man play, picks up Ruben Ricky, got a ball away. Well, if that had us stuck in the hands of Sean Hoppy, it might have been a chance. We've got to take a break. We'll be back to Stadium Australia in just a moment.
When you smile, you make my heart go thump. When you walk, or when I pick you up.
Give your baby a flying start with Pigeon quality baby products.
Here's what the experts say about South Park being available to buy on video.
Whoa!
Plus, as a special offer, Cartman's Mama's a dirty slut, only $9.95, with intros to each episode by Matt and Trey.
You're all a bunch of...
G'day, Sydney here. Sydney Lands and Bedding is having a 10-day marathon clearance sale. That's right, a marathon sale on all floor stock. There's 20 only 3-piece lounge suites with 2 recliners plus bonus sofa bed, $9.99. 100 only futons, a lounge by day and a bed by night, only $1.99. Plus heaps more in the store. And still pay only $10 deposit with 2 years to pay. Sydney Lounge's 10-day marathon clearance sale with 10 great locations as a store near you. Be quick, because when they're gone, they're gone.
9:30 Monday on 9, a look into the world of UFOs.
No known conventional aircraft can fly at such speeds.
Fact or fiction?
Something had to build them, so there must be aliens.
We present the eyewitness evidence.
An Australian couple photographed this silver disc in flight.
You be the judge.
Yeah, how could they keep something like this secret? It's a crime against science. It's a crime against the people.
A mystery that has intrigued man for thousands of years. UFOs above and beyond. 9:30 Monday on 9.
6-0 New Zealand after 26 minutes as Australia brings it away from inside their own 20-metre line once again. And once again, it's Wendell Saylor. Cossack. Young Fletcher's gone off. There he is, heading for the benches. And Price. And a penalty against the Kiwis inside the 10. But this should see Australia get themselves down into an attacking position. Seldom have they been down there. As Paul Vorton pointed out, and rightly so, their defensive load has been extreme, and when they've been given the ball in attack, they've had a bad case of dropsy.
probably brought on them by that defensive load. Played by Glenn Lazarus right on halfway. Tallis it is that takes it ahead, but he meets a persistent New Zealand defence that so far has proven impregnable. Across for Langer, and then Fittler, and a face pass, picking up Daly. Daly's inside the 30, gets a pass inside for Lockyer. Beautiful pass, Daly. Even better from Lockyer, and Sailor's in. Sailor's over to score the Australian try. That is absolutely superb rugby league, and the hands of Laurie Daly and Darren Lockyer. Just a really sensational try.
Yeah, we talk about the elite back line, plenty of stars in it, and they all shone in one sweeping movement down the left-hand side. You'll see here that an Australian attacker attracts two defenders. As we freeze it there, you can see this man from New Zealand has come in. He wasn't needed, and all of a sudden the winger's got two men coming at him as play continues. Laurie Daly slides through the middle, throws half a dummy, gets rid of Sean Hoppy. A beautiful pass back inside for Lockyer, and Lockyer just tosses it up to his Brisbane teammate Wendell Sailor. Beautiful stuff, plenty of skills involved, and they've hit back beautifully despite the lack of football.
And the man who sprinted out of the line to open up the space out there was Ruben Wiki. He'll probably rue that behind the line now. Some great hands here from Daly, good skill, nice spin to hold Stacey Jones at bay and then offload. It was a dusty pass, but it did the job. And then the Brisbane Bronco combination came good at the end. Lockie just saw Wendell out of the corner of his eye. Nice offload, and Swan couldn't get there. So Australia hit back. Some good quality football there from them.
And it needed to be as well, didn't it? Despite that one defensive error from Ruben Wiki, they scrambled pretty well again, New Zealand. Missed a couple of tackles in the process, but it still took plenty of skill for the Aussies to get the ball over the line, and Matt Rogers moves in.
So Rogers has got this online and gets the 2 points for Australia's score. Australia and New Zealand are 6 points all after 29 minutes of the Test match.
Together in training, inseparable in love.
Not here, okay?
Then he goes missing.
How do you disappear like that, unless you want to?
Tuesday night on Water Rats.
Nothing about this guy adds up.
A double life.
Fish Wilson's wife.
Taylor Johnson's worst fears.
Where's my money?
And her nightmare has only just begun.
Clearing the boat and someone shoots me in the ass.
As the criminal world rears its head.
You two look good together. Yep.
Water Rats, then Stingers, Tuesday on 9.
Clive Peters Scratch and Dent Clearance Sale, Ringwood, Dandenong and Braybrook. The bargain hunters bonanza for everything electrical, home entertainment and white goods. Incredible savings on new and superseded models, shop soil goods and even factory clearance items. Local and imported brands all backed by warranties. Save up to 30, 40, even 50% off recommended retail. Clive Peters Scratch and Dent Clearance Sale, Ringwood, Dandenong and Braybrook. Open 7 days. Builders welcome. Hurry. End soon.
Burns, Cotton and Morris. Ronnie Burns. Daryl Cotton. And Russell Morris. 3 Australian music legends performing together on stage in a show that has left audiences and critics raving. On tour live with their band, and they're heading your way. Burns, Cotton and Morris. Don't miss out.
The Rabbitohs have been running wild, but watch them run for cover as the Storm hits this Saturday at Olympic Park. No one has a prouder history or more premierships than South Sydney, but with Kamali up against Tricky Trindle and Lazarus head-to-head with Man Mountain Matt Parsons, tradition will stand for nothing. The Storm and Souths at Olympic Park this Saturday. Kick-off at 2:30. Tickets at Ticketek on 132849 or at the gate.
Be there. Macy's Carpet Court is having its once-a-year New Zealand wool stock clearance. Sizels, twists, plushes and Berbers, all crafted from quality New Zealand wool and all discounted. Also huge discounts on air-step underlay with free, yes, free installation. Plus the latest quality floating laminate floors from Europe in 21 different styles with free, yes, free installation. Interest-free terms are available, but only for a strictly limited time and only at Macy's Carpet Court, Oakley.
Feeling a little rusty? How would you like more get up and go? It's easy. Simply take moderate exercise for 30 minutes most days of the week. And as an easy way to start, you can do it in blocks of 10 or 15 minutes. Exercise. You only have to take it regularly, not seriously.
6 points all then at Stadium Australia. First test match ever to be played here, and they've got the football back. Well, what's he ruled here?
He's got Richard Swain for knocking on, I think, Ray.
Your hand back to their hand, back to yours. Scrum, Australia ball.
But the ball never hit the ground, did it? I'm sure it doesn't. I mean, he hasn't deliberately knocked the ball forward. That should be play on for mine.
Exactly right.
I mean, you can't knock the ball deliberately forward and then catch it. That's a penalty, but he did not. He just tried to grab it and it went forward. Came back off an Australian player. Hard done by the Kiwis.
25 metres out from their own line, the Australians. And this is Andrew Johns making a weaving contribution for Australia. Now it's with Kosef. Tallis. Tallis really the centre of attention out there. He's put down on the halfway line. Now it's Johns, and Johns, his second hit up on this particular set of 6. It's away for Langer, turns it in for Kearns, and Kearns with an arm free is put down on the 30-metre line. Plays it back for Johns and then for Langer. Langer puts a little chip over. He's looking for the outside backs, and Vainikolo read the play and is tackled down on his own 10-metre line. Quick play the ball by him. And now Richie Barnett comes out, stepping off that left foot. 15 away from his line. Swain is the dummy half. Born in Tamworth to a New Zealand mother. Kalis, likewise, New Zealand parents. It's Lazarus who knocked the ball down. I thought he was trying to get back on side, but the referee disagrees with that thought. And Tallis will play the ball 32 metres away from the New Zealand line. Now it's Langer putting it onto the chest of Fittler. The defence puts Fittler under pressure. The ball has gone forward, and he's going to pack a scrum down.
They're very difficult conditions out there, and Brad Fittler just changing the angle of the attack. They're coming back, but there was plenty of defence around when Langer let go of the football. An important stage in this game, the last 10 minutes of the first half. And delicately poised as the scoreboard indicates.
Swan just outside the 30-metre line. Sway for Hermanson back towards the centre of the ground. That's his own 40-metre line, as you can see. And Swain now comes to the short side, answering the call of Ruben Wiki, who crawls a couple of metres to the halfway line. Robbie Paul. Robbie Paul. I don't think he's handled the football and been tackled in the first attempt yet. Stacey Jones running free to the right, kicking back into the middle. Lockyer comes across and takes it in mid-air.
Well, New Zealand actually appealed for 6 again when Robbie Paul got his pass away. They believed that there was an Australian hand involved. The referee said no. Laurie Daly now tackled 19 out from his own line. Just shy of centre field. Andrew Johns starting to run from dummy half a little bit more, but still not finding a lot of space. This is the pass that Paul gets away, and they claim it touched the hand, and I think they had good cause to call for that as well.
Lazarus now just beyond his own 30-metre line. They go to the blind side for Kearns. Just on that play earlier on from the kickoff, I believe Swain propelled the ball forward and it struck an opponent player, an opposition player, and I think that's the way the referee ruled. This was the short kickoff that they applied. I think it's propelled forward, hits an opposing player. before he regains possession, and I think that's the rule the English referee has applied. I remember it happened down at Brookvale one day not too many years ago, and we were all left scratching our head. Kosef at the moment has got a bleeding head. The NZ is winning the scrum, and here's Big Vaynerkola. What do they call him, Paul? The Volcano? 35 out from his own line. This is Talau, the Canterbury centre. Vaynerkola supporting to the halfway line. Swain running from dummy half. This is good stuff. And Swain will be suited to this style of football because Melbourne adopts it a lot. Now Robbie Paul, little dummy on the left, tries to go down the middle, picks up a runner. It's Barnett, gets a one-hander away. Langer touched it. It should be 6 more. He's restarted the tackle count. Jones is with it. And Jones will play it now. 25 metres out from the Australian line. Henry Paul to the 20. Swain. Vanguna runs at Andrew Johns, beats him. Paul away from McCracken for Hoppy. Hoppy's put down 7 metres out from the Australian line. Robbie Paul again. Jason Lowry, can he unload? He can't. 4 Australians involved in the tackle. From Robbie Paul for Stacey Jones. He's into the clear. Lockyer is there though, and Lockyer gets it back, loses the ball. Barnett puts it down. Barnett puts it down. Now, did he lose the ball or pass the ball?
No, he hasn't passed it, Ray. It's come out. We're going to the video referee. I think there was only 1 involved in the tackle.
I don't think there was 2 in the tackle.
And that's what the referee is saying. He doesn't think that there was 2 involved in the tackle. And if there's only 1, Richie Barnett gets the second, and Darren Lockyer's woes continue against the New Zealand side in the Anzac Test match. Oh.
No, there's 2 in the tackle, Pete, so this, I reckon, will be a penalty.
I'd like to see it again.
Was the ball raked out? I mean, the 2 in the tackle is one part of the equation. Did it actually get raked out?
The Australians are very confident it will be a no try.
It is no try. Dennis Spagarino is the video referee tonight.
And it has been a penalty awarded to the Australian team.
This is it again from another angle. The hand of Barnett is the important thing, and he does rake it out from the grasp of Darren Lockyer and gives a penalty.
So I take that back. The woes do not continue for Darren Lockyer. Don't forget, he did have an unhappy game in the first test last year, but he came back and showed championship qualities in his next couple of performances. That's Kearns taking it over the 40.
Johns. Fittler gets the big forearm up into the face of Henry Paul and plays it back for Andrew Johns. And now it's Gordon Tallis. Gordon Tallis, he's a destructive runner down the left flank, inside ball. Saylor picks it up. Saylor goes across the park. Langer goes up the middle, and he will be made to play the ball. 18 metres away from the line. Johns didn't know the ball had been played. Fittler across for Daly. Daly on. Now it's Fletcher. And Fletcher 15 metres out from the line. On the eastern side of the ground. Darren Smith. Langer kicking across the park. And Hoppy it is. He's going to try and get it back. He might as well. I'll tell you what, he's going to make. No, he doesn't. He falls short by a metre. But he'd already touched the ball. He was on the odds to nothing not to try and get back.
He was going to make it. What about this run of Gordon Tallis? A nice little step. Got through Robbie Paul. Set up his supports. And then Saylor, they nearly scored again, the Australians. Langer held up, but then when Hoppy tried to get the ball out, took a great tackle.
Andrew Johns.
Andrew Johns, what a player. He's a halfback for his Newcastle club playing hooker tonight, and he can mix it with the best of them. Here come the Aussies.
Couple of minutes away from half-time. Saylor, scorer of the Australian try. Now Kearns. Playing it inside the 30-metre line. Back for Andrew Johns, and to the right for Lazarus. Tallis tries to hook onto the big man.
If New Zealand go in locked up here, they won't be too disappointed. If they go in behind, they'll be shattered.
Here's Daly. Daly for Darren Smith. There's a try on. Rogers gets a ball back for Darren Smith. And Darren is tackled a couple of metres from the line. From Lockyer to Daly, then for Fittler. Fittler gets the ball away. Andrew Johns gets it away, but it's gone to ground. and the advantage rule sees McCracken play it for New Zealand.
Great defence, good attack. A penalty now, a relieving one for New Zealand, and they need it. But on the far side, Willie Talau came up with a try-saver, and it looked as though Andrew Johns was going to pop one up for Brad Fittler here to get the Australian second. He just lost control. Well, in fact, he found Fittler, but the pass was a little bit behind him. And then the penalty awarded to the Kiwis for the markers not standing straight.
So many times watching New Zealand or watching New Zealand club sides, you watch them, they tend to wilt in the last 10 minutes of each half, and I think there are signs of that happening with the Kiwis here. They've got away with it this time, though, and they will take it, you would think, to half-time at 6 all. Henry Paul picked up and dumped by Andrew Johns. How strong is he? He lost that ball. Well, will they get to the half-time break at 6 all? Because now this scrum will see a loose head and feed for Australia. But it is 5 metres on their own side of halfway. The strength of Andrew Johns again typified by that tackle.
Yeah, I think Paul might have tried to milk that one, but I still think there could have been a penalty awarded his way. Will they kick early in the tackle count here, the Australians?
Daly, Lockyer comes in from the back. Smith goes straight up the middle. Steps out of a tackle on the halfway, reaches the New Zealand 40. Lockyer now. Rogers is coming around the back of the ruck, wanting to get involved. Now he retires. Kearns played it. Down low. Beautiful hands, Laurie Daly. Now Matt Singer's got his first touch of the football. He's looking for the corner call back.
There's been a shepherd, Ray. He's saying that...
Pull him back.
He was saying there was
one of the Aussies pulled back one of the Kiwi defenders. And there it is there, just at the top of the screen. I think it's Fletcher pulls out Stacey Jones. And referee Cummings says that was an indiscretion.
Yeah, the number 17 was definitely the man penalised, but if Ruben Wicku keeps rushing up like that, he is going to cause all sorts of problems for the New Zealand defence around him. He flew up again, and that's why the gap appeared.
So the tap taken by New Zealand, and Richard Swain is tackled, and that takes us to half-time. So 6 points all. New Zealand scored a converted try early in the game. It took Australia quite some time. In fact, it was a half an hour into the game before they were able to draw level, and that is the half-time score. 1 try apiece. Australia and New Zealand playing the Anzac Day Test, or should I say more precisely, on the Anzac Day weekend, the test match being played at Stadium Australia, a crowd that probably is in the area of the mid-20,000s. We will take a break, and then we'll come back with the second half. But first, here's a reminder about a great day tomorrow on Sports Saturday.
Tomorrow on Sports Saturday, be very, very afraid as we paddle into the monster waves of Waimea Bay for action from the Quicksilver Eddie Aikau Memorial. They waited 4 years for the right swell to do justice to a surfing legend, and all of the best big wave riders are ready to take the drop. We'll swim with the Sharks for a look at the father and son partnership of John and Martin Lang, working wonders for the Cronulla Rugby League team. Plus, we'll review tonight's historic test encounter at Stadium Australia. The all-spinning, non-smoking Shane Warne sends down word from the Windies about the Aussies' one-day campaign and his timely return to form. In the week that we farewell the greatest player to grace the ice, we'll deliver an all-action tribute to Wayne Gretzky. On Sports Sunday this week, out of the blue into the green and gold, we meet Rugby League's newest international, Brian Fletcher. Catch up with one of Australian golf's big hits of the summer, Greg Chalmers, plying his trade on the tough US tour. And on this Anzac Day weekend, a postcard from the battlefields, our diggers at play. All that plus a whole lot more this weekend on the one and only Wide World of Sports. Undercover as a working girl.
Someone in the house.
To flush out a murderer.
I mean, how many of your girls have to die before you start to take this seriously?
They've underestimated the risks.
Lock the door.
She's in deep trouble.
Take